of you, quit your chit-chatting and pay attention to me, okay? Thank you.
I don't think this video needs a big introduction. If you know me, then you know that I post my art on 2 social media apps, to varying degrees of success. What actually inspired me to write this script is this art post I made on Halloween. It was a fully rendered drawing of my original characters all dressed up in costumes with carved pumpkins. As of now, it has 1 note on Tumblr. From myself. On Instagram, though, it has 16 likes. Usually my reach on Instagram is worse than on Tumblr, and I get at least something on there. And even though I started and completed this piece in less than a day, it still kinda hurts. Now, I can't really make a case for any other social media for posting art. I imagine it's about the same, except of course the core of drama seems to come from Twitter and TikTok, which is why I don't post on one and completely stay away from the other, among other things. Most of the art I post is fan art. I'm not intentionally fishing for engagement or whatever, I draw what I like and that's it. You may notice most of the fan art I post is of niche topics that have relatively small fan bases. The point being, I'm not a professional artist and I don't think I ever want to be, so I'm not relying on social media for a career in art. I know it shouldn't be that important to me that my art isn't performing as well as I want it to. Look at my follower count on Instagram. It looks impressive, but it goes down by 1 every other day. And it's been like that for 2 years. Because most of my followers came from one stupid reel I made in 2022 where I just made fun of my younger self. The other app I post to, where likes don't matter as much as sharing does, is Tumblr. Even knowing this, the site is notorious for having a small fraction of notes on the art be reblogs. Unless you posted a meme, your art was pretty much doomed to be found only on your account. I prefer posting to Tumblr most of the time since you can click on an image and open it in a new tab to see the piece in full quality. It's not a perfect platform at all. To be fair, it wasn't the kind of thing I usually post, so nobody engaged with it, and that is the most discouraging part about it. But get this, on December 10th, I did the math, comparing my posts since the beginning of September on both my Instagram page and my Tumblr art account. During that time, I made 14 posts on my Instagram and only 5 posts on that Tumblr. The like count on Instagram tended to be more consistent than my note count on Tumblr, not counting my own reblogs. On average, I get 19 likes per post on Instagram, while on Tumblr I get an average of 29 notes per post. But 5 posts is a very small sample size, and I didn't think it was fair to just do that. So if I extend that to the 14 most recent posts on my Tumblr, the note average goes up to about 34. Which does include a meme, but I'm counting it anyway since I still made 100% of the piece with my own 2 hands. By these stats, it looks like my art performs better on Tumblr than it does on Instagram, even when I got my work shared by the literal creator of this series I made fan art for. Twice. Part of this does feel like I'm comparing apples to oranges because I'm comparing a capital SM social media to a microblogging platform literally created with niche communities in mind. Of course, both these platforms have very obvious issues with them stemming from poor moderation quality and the TikTok and Twitterification of both, respectively. I'm not gonna go deeper into those issues, but I'm just saying that so that it's out there, and I'm not praising either one of them as perfect. I've also had completely different experiences using both of them long term, not just for posting art. I've been on Tumblr for 9 years and Instagram for 7. So on Instagram, I have a nice little circle of mutuals who enjoy much of the same things I do, while I've never had multiple conversations with anyone on Tumblr. While I like using it because of the lack of algorithm, it feels lonelier on Tumblr. On Instagram, I'm making conversation at the big house party, while on Tumblr, I'm reaching out to the green light across the river. By the way, if you're wondering why I happen to post more on Instagram than Tumblr, even though I prefer Tumblr for posting art on, it's because it is a lot easier to waste time on Instagram than it is to waste time on Tumblr. Also, I am going to keep posting on both until one or both of them, shut down. And I really don't want to move on to another social media to post my art on since I already made my image on both of those for years. Besides, it's difficult for me to just keep up with those two. I'm aware that my social media usage may come off as unconventional because I know that there are some people who aren't even aware that Tumblr is still around. It very much is. And this was a little nice for me to actually do statistics on both of my social media accounts, because I do want to open a Ko-Fi and a Patreon in the future once my work gets a little more consistent. And I really just want to figure out what kind of promotion should go where. So really, the purpose of this video was to just look at how my performance is doing compared to everyone else who uses Twitter and TikTok, and I don't. So if any of y'all do want to support me in the future, keep an eye out. Anyway, this last part was unscripted, so I'm gonna end it off here.